Thanks for checking out my video. This is one of my long hair care update videos. In this one, I'm just going to be sharing a couple of changes that I've made with the products that I'm using. And then in my next video, that will be the official length update video where I comb my hair out thoroughly with it slightly damp so that I can get a true reading of how long it is. And then I'm also going to show photo side-by-side comparison with my last update and with the length that I started with when I started my natural hair care and homemade hair wash routine. And then also in the next video, I found some photos from before I started a YouTube channel and before I started the natural hair care routine that I have. And so I thought that might be fun to share in my next video too, just in case you might find it interesting to see what my hair was like prior to starting this natural hair care journey. And so I'm working on that video now, so that will be the next one. But like I said, this one is just a couple updates with the products that I'm using to share that with you. A side benefit of long hair is that I found you can make a scarf anytime you want. So if you're cold, then you can wrap it around and have a ready-made scarf. So for those of you that are new to my channel, I am growing my hair as long as possible using a homemade hair wash, a conditioner bar, oiling, and that's it. Just keeping it really simple and basic and plastic free as much as possible. I'm also trying to remember to do scalp massages as often as possible, and I just use my hands for that. I did have one of those silicone scalp massagers, but when the last one wore out, I didn't replace it, so I just use my hands now, and that's working out good, and it does seem to make a difference, so I'm making a point to do that regularly. So it's just a very natural, simple routine. And I first was making my homemade hair wash with individual ingredients, the powders of soap nut, shikakai, amla, and I would rotate in other powders as well, sometimes Rasul clay and rose powder or hibiscus powder. And then I switched to using a mix that I've talked about in some prior videos by Carmel Organics, where they mixed already for you the powders of amla, shikakai, soap nut, and aloe. So I was reviewing the video after I finished filming, and I noticed that the ink shows on my finger that I was writing a letter to a friend with my calligraphy pen that uses an inkwell that you dip the pen in, and I ended up with ink on my fingers, and I didn't notice it until I was reviewing the video, so that's all that is ink on a calligraphy pen. Just wanted to let you know in case you noticed too. So I was using this one, and then my scalp started getting really itchy, and I mean seriously itchy. Like after hair washing day that night, it would be really itchy, and for days afterward. And I didn't think any of these ingredients would be a problem because I'd used them individually before, except the aloe. I had used aloe powder early on in my homemade hair care routine just to try it out, and I remember I didn't really care for it back then, but I thought maybe with it in the mix I would like it. But doing some trial and error, I figured out it was the aloe vera powder that was making my scalp itch so badly, so I stopped using this one. I had put it in a glass jar because it comes in a brown paper pouch, and it was a full jar, so you can see I used a lot of it, and it is really nice, and the powder is really fine. I was using prior to this Merlion, I don't know exactly how it's pronounced. They're powders, which are good too, but these ones were finer ground, so if I go back to this brand, I'm just going to buy the individual powders again and make my own mix and leave out the aloe vera. But I'm not using that on my hair anymore because obviously like having a really itchy scalp is a sign that the skin is irritated. So that's a change that I made, and I switched actually to, I bought this brand. I like to try different brands, like when I've mentioned in my earlier videos, when I run out of one product, I'll buy and try a different one. So this one is Cultivators. It comes in a resealable paper pouch. I'll show close-ups of it and how I mix it into a hair wash. And the ingredients are soap nut, shikakai, amla, and ziziphus. Also, I wanted to show how it's cleansing but without being drying. So I just wanted to show a close-up after my hair has been washed and dried with it. Hopefully you can tell how my hair looks clean but not stripped of its natural oils. And also this is after my hair has air dried after washing with it and using the conditioner bar. And so I just mix this powder like I did with the other one. I mix it in water, hot water. And I either make a paste and just rub it into my scalp and hair like I would a shampoo, or I'll add more water to the bowl and make a liquid. And dunk my hair in it and wash it that way. I rotate back and forth with those two methods. Oh, and I still use the same conditioner bar with the glycerin added. I just put that in a bowl of water. And dunk my hair in it and then pour it over my hair and rub the conditioner bar on my hair. This is the wrap that I've been using on my hair after I wash and condition it. I like this one the best of all the ones I've tried because it's 95% cotton and it's smooth like a t-shirt material, not rough like a bath towel, and it has elastic on each end, which I also like, as that holds my long hair in, makes it easy to twist it around my head while my hair dries. The oil that I'm using is one I talked about in an earlier video. Burdock root oil with calendula flower extract. So I'm still using this one. With it being summertime, I haven't needed the batana oil with the castor oil that I was using on my scalp and hair on wash day. I was using that up till just recently, but I took a little break because with the weather being so warm, then my hair and scalp don't get as dry like they do in winter. They get drier, so then I need the extra moisture. And then so I use this on my main hair washing day, and then on days when I just need a lighter wash, then I forgot to bring it in here where I'm filming, but I'll show a clip of it. I believe I've talked about it in an earlier video, and it's ground, but it's coarse ground, and so I put that in a cotton bag and make like a tea with it, and then I just leave it to soak all day. I don't boil the water or anything, I just put hot tap water over it. Here's a close-up of that one. As I mentioned, this one is coarse ground, so I always put it in a cotton bag, because when I tried it the first time, just had it loose, it couldn't get it all rinsed out of my hair for days, so I didn't want to deal with that again. So that just makes a liquid like tea, and so I use that on light hair wash days because that's just like a rinse. So if I don't need a thorough wash, because I like this one because the powder is really finely ground, so it's easy to rinse out. So far this is my favorite brand that I've tried. But still, since it has powder in it, it's mildly exfoliating on the scalp. So I do recommend this one for like a shampoo replacement for main washing, and then this other brand to make a tea out of for like a daily wash, daily rinse, when you don't like really need to do a thorough scrubbing. And then also I bought this months ago. I'll show a clip of it. It's just whole herbs. So this one I use in the cotton bags like a tea as well, and then I put hot water over it. I don't go to the trouble of boiling a tea kettle, just hot tap water. And then I use this for a quick wash day, a quick hair rinse. However, because I bought this a while ago before I realized about the aloe being a problem for me, this does have aloe in it, so I'm only using it like once a month so that my scalp doesn't get itchy again. But it has the amla, shikakai. It has a couple things, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. I'll put it on the screen. And then it has fenugreek, rosemary, hibiscus, licorice, curry, harad, bach, vetiver. I don't know how to pronounce this next one or the next one. I'll put that on the screen. And then aloe vera, bacopa, henna, neem, senna, red rose, tulsi, and indigo. So it makes a nice rinse, again, on days when you might not need a thorough washing. It's actually specifically for, the instructions recommend to make a herbal hair oil. So you put this in a container with coconut oil and then let it infuse for 7 to 10 days, but I'm just using it for a hair rinse. So that's the update on the products that I'm using. And like I said, next video will be an official length update. For my combs and brushes, I'm still using the Sandalwood comb. This is what I use mainly. It works good for detangling and daily combing. I actually have 2 different brands of Sandalwood combs. This is the other brand I'm using here, but they're both wide tooth, which works really well for detangling, and also I like them because they're really easy to wash, whereas brushes can be kind of a hassle to wash and clean. So I mostly use the 2 different Sandalwood combs that I have. And I did get a brush. I usually don't use brushes. I did early on, but I found them too difficult to keep clean, too much of a hassle, because like with brushes, hair and lint and so forth gets caught in the brush and it's a pain to clean. So I haven't used a brush in quite a while, but I got this one. It's actually a kid's brush, but I got it because it's a bamboo handle and bamboo, what are those called, teeth or tines, whatever. This one actually washes up pretty easily. I just use soap and water and then scrub my fingers through it with soap and water and then leave it like this facing down to air dry in case like any water gets caught in there, it can dry thoroughly. So I do like this one. So I've been using this on days that I want to use a brush. That's like one thing, you know, with the natural hair care that I'm doing. I've mentioned this in prior videos. Like the hair isn't, I mean, you can tell like I don't use product or anything on it, and I don't have, you know, fantastic hair. But for my goals, which is to have healthy ingredients, simple routine, natural, organic ingredients that are inexpensive. So I'm just going to keep with this program, and but it's, you know, not for everyone because, like I said, the hair is just really plain and natural looking. Same thing like with my skincare and makeup routine, you know, it gets a bit frustrating sometimes because, again, I feel like the products don't work as effectively or don't look as good as the you know, store-bought mainstream brands. But again, since my goal is overall health and wellness and ingredients that aren't at all harmful to me or to the environment. I'm willing to put up with the frustration of the natural products that don't always work as effectively. And it's made a difference in my overall health. Using just really pure natural ingredients, having a pure diet. It's a work in progress, but it has improved my overall health, and my skin cleared up. I had years and years of breakouts and acne, not as a teen, but only when I became an adult. And when I stopped using store-bought makeup, my skin cleared up. And now I was wearing, for face powder, Forage Fields Clay face powder, and that I still like that one, but it can be a little bit drying if you have dry skin already. So I've been using just 100% pearl powder, and that's all that I use on my face. I'm going to actually wash my hair tonight, so it works out good just getting all the combing and brushing done right now while I make the video, and then I'll take out the braids. For a while, when I would wash my hair, I would braid the lower portions of my hair, but now I just brush it out and wash it loose. So I guess that is probably about all for now. Thank you for joining me, tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you're all having a great summer. Bye for now.